I don't know who the father is, she screamed at her own baby's party in front of 300 guests, with 3 possible fathers watching. Wait, don't scroll. What you're about to hear is one of the wildest Nigerian stories you'll see this week. But before we continue, please tell me, where are you watching from? We love seeing how far our stories travel. And please, tap the like button right now so this story can reach more amazing people like you who love good gist. Chioma adjusted her designer sunglasses as she stepped out of the latest Range Rover her husband had bought her. The Lagos sun kissed her seamed skin and heads turned as she walked into the shopping mall. At 32, she had everything, or so it seemed. Her husband, Chief Emeka Okonkwo, was 15 years older, a wealthy oil magnate who showered her with everything money could buy. Their Lekki mansion had 7 bedrooms, a pool, and staff quarters. But Emeka was always traveling, always busy, always tired when he came home. "Madam, welcome," the boutique attendant greeted her warmly. Chioma loved this feeling, being treated like royalty, being envied. But there was something missing, something Chief Emeka's money couldn't buy. Excitement, passion, attention. That's where Biodun came in. Biodun lived 3 houses down with his wife and 2 children. He was handsome, charming, and always available when Emeka traveled. Their affair started innocently. A conversation at the estate gate, then coffee, then... "You make me feel alive," Biodun would whisper during their afternoon meetings when his wife was at work. But even Biodun wasn't enough.
Tunde was different from both men. He sat in a wheelchair, painting beautiful artwork that sold for thousands of dollars to collectors abroad. Chioma met him at an art exhibition 6 months ago. "This piece speaks to me," she had said, standing before his painting. "That's because you see yourself in it," Tunde replied, looking at her with eyes that seemed to see through her designer clothes and expensive jewelry. They talked for hours that night. Tunde didn't care about her wealth. He listened when she spoke. He made her laugh. He saw her, really saw her, in a way no one else did. When Chioma told him she was a single mother struggling to make ends meet, it wasn't entirely planned. The lie slipped out when he asked about her life, and she couldn't take it back. "I admire your strength," Tunde said, "raising a child alone while trying to build a better life." The lie grew bigger. She told him about her difficult ex-husband who abandoned her, her small apartment in Surulere, her struggles to pay school fees. Tunde fell in love with the woman she pretended to be, the humble, struggling, single mother who still found time to appreciate art and beauty. "I don't have much," he told her one evening at his modest studio apartment, "but everything I have, I want to share with you." Chioma felt something she hadn't felt in years. Genuine emotional connection. With Tunde, she didn't need to be perfect. She could cry. She could be vulnerable. She could be human. It was a Tuesday morning when Chioma stared at the 3 pregnancy tests lined up on her marble bathroom counter. All positive. Her heart raced. This couldn't be happening. She grabbed her phone and opened her calendar app, counting back, calculating. Her hands trembled. 3 weeks ago, Emeka had returned from his trip to Port Harcourt. They had been intimate that Sunday night. 2.5 weeks ago, Biodun had come over while his wife was at a church conference. 2 weeks ago, she had spent the night at Tunde's apartment, telling Emeka she was visiting her sick mother in Enugu. "No, no, no," she whispered, sliding down to sit on the cold bathroom floor. Who was the father? Chioma decided to keep the pregnancy and pray for a miracle. Maybe the baby would look like Emeka. Problem solved. But managing 3 men became increasingly complicated. With Emeka, she played the devoted wife, attending society parties and charity galas. "You've made me the happiest man," he told her when she announced the pregnancy. Finally, an heir to the Okonkwo empire. With Bayodun, she was the passionate lover, meeting him in hotels now that her pregnancy made her cautious. "We need to be more careful," she warned him. "My husband is becoming suspicious." With Tunde, she was the struggling single mother who just happened to be pregnant from a brief relationship that didn't work out. "I'll raise this child alone if I have to," she told him tearfully. No, Tunde said firmly, taking her hand. "You won't be alone. I may not be able to walk, but I can be a father. I can love this child. Marry me, Chioma." Chioma's eyes widened. This wasn't part of the plan. The baby came on a rainy September morning. A beautiful baby boy with curly hair and light brown eyes. In the hospital, Emeka held his son with tears streaming down his face. "He has my father's nose," he declared proudly. But the nurse exchanged glances with the doctor. Something was off. 3 days later, Bayodun showed up at the hospital with flowers, claiming to be a family friend. The moment he saw the baby, his face changed. "Chioma, can we talk privately?" His voice was tight. "Not now, Bayodun. My husband. That child has my birthmark. The same one my father has. The same one I have." He pulled up his sleeve, showing a distinctive dark crescent moon-shaped mark just above the elbow crease on his left forearm. "Check the baby's left forearm. I guarantee it's there." Chioma's blood ran cold. Meanwhile, Tunde had been calling non-stop. "I want to meet my son," he texted. "When can I come to your apartment?" The web of lies was tightening. It all came crashing down at the baby's naming ceremony. Emeka had invited 300 guests to their mansion. There were live bands, caterers, and champagne towers. The cream of Lagos society was present. Tunde, who had been texting Chioma all week, decided to surprise her. He came in his wheelchair, having gotten the address from the art gallery where they first met. He thought it was the venue for a naming ceremony Chioma had mentioned. He wheeled into the compound and froze. This wasn't a small apartment in Surulere. This was a mansion. And there was Chioma, dripping in diamonds, standing next to a man old enough to be her father. A man who was holding her baby. "Chioma?" Tunde's voice cut through the music. Everyone turned. "Who is this?" Emeka asked, his voice dangerous. Before Chioma could answer, Bayodun walked in with his wife. He had been invited as a neighbor, but came to confront Chioma. His wife had become suspicious and demanded to come along. "Chief Emeka," Bayodun's wife said loudly, "I think there's something you should know about your wife and my husband." The party went silent.
What followed was chaos. Bayodun's wife revealed the affair. Tunde, heartbroken and confused, demanded answers. Emeka stood frozen, the baby still in his arms. In the middle of it all, with 300 pairs of eyes watching, Chioma broke down. "I don't know who the father is," she screamed. "It could be any of you." Gasps rippled through the crowd. Phones came out. This would be all over social media within minutes. Emeka's hand trembled as he handed the baby to the nanny. His voice, though low, carried the weight of a death sentence. "You have disgraced my entire lineage. Get out of my house." "Chief, please." "I said get out." Tunde wheeled backward, tears streaming down his face. "You lied to me about everything. Everything." Bayodun's wife slapped him across the face. "You destroyed our family for this liar?"
Chioma stood in the middle of the grand living room, surrounded by luxury she was about to lose, watched by hundreds of people recording her downfall. She had nothing left. 3 months later, Chioma lived in a one-bedroom apartment in Ikeja, the kind of place she used to look down on. The DNA tests had come back. The baby was Emeka's. But Emeka wanted nothing to do with either of them. He filed for divorce, gave her a settlement that covered 2 years of basic expenses, and took full custody of the child. "You wanted money," his lawyer told her during the settlement. "Congratulations, this is all the money you get from Chief Okonkwo." Bayodun's wife left him, taking the children and half of everything. He lost his job when the scandal went viral. He blamed Chioma for destroying his life. But it was Tunde's reaction that haunted her most. He had sent her one message. "I fell in love with a woman who didn't exist. I hope you find out who you really are one day. Goodbye, Chioma." 3 years later, Chioma worked as a receptionist now. The Range Rovers were gone, replaced by public buses. The designer clothes were sold, replaced by simple dresses from local markets. But something had changed in her. She volunteered at a community center, teaching young girls about self-worth beyond material things. "Don't make my mistakes," she told them. "Don't measure your value by what men can give you." One Saturday, she saw Tunde at an art exhibition. He was with a woman who looked at him with genuine love. Chioma watched from a distance, tears in her eyes. She had destroyed 3 families, including her own. She had lost her son, who was being raised by Emeka's new wife, a kind woman who sent photos occasionally, showing a happy toddler who would never know his birth mother. As Chioma walked home that evening, she passed a mirror in a shop window. For the first time in her life, she stopped to really look at herself. Not at her clothes or her jewelry or the car she drove, just at herself. "Who are you, Chioma?" she whispered. And for the first time, she wanted to find out. The end. A story about the price of deception, the value of truth, and the journey to finding yourself before you lose everything.